welcome back to English with Lena. Alright, so the topic today, as you have read on the title, is going to be about 5 pairs of words that you may easily get confused. Okay, right, let's start. The first pair is ethic and ethnic. Oh, what did I just say? Is it the same word? No, not at all. So you can tell by the look of the spelling. One have N and one does not have N, alright? So let's start with ethic first. Ethic, first of all, is a noun. It's a system of accepted beliefs that control behavior, especially such a system based on morals, okay? So first of all, it is a system of generally believed ideas and things like that. It's normally regarding the moral aspect which you consider as an accepted behavior, stuff like that. So you're going to use it with a collocation, work ethic. So how you're going to behave at work properly. Let me give you another example. The ethics of journalism are much debated. He said he was bound by a scientist's code of ethics. Alright, so whenever you learn a new word, try to use it in a sentence. Try to learn the context as well, so it's much easier to capture it in your mind. Next part, ethnic. Alright, is relating to a particular race of people, or it relating to a population, a subgroup. So for example, in Vietnam, you got different ethnicity, people who live in the mountainous area. So you can call them ethnic minority. Give you one example, she loves ethnic foods. And then next one, this pair is receipt and recipe. Alright, so for receipt is the action of receiving something or the fact of its being received. Alright, it's a little bit difficult to understand, right? Anyway, I'll break it down for you. So this thing is what you normally call a receipt. Yeah, so it could be your grocery bills, or it could be a check at a restaurant. Yeah, that is the receipt. So for example, make sure you are given a receipt for everything you buy. Or more retailers are switching to email receipts instead of paper. The second one is recipe. Recipe, it sounds so cute in my opinion. So basically it's a set of instructions telling you how to prepare, cook food, and also including the list of ingredients. So if you are a big fan of BBC Food, Jamie Oliver, or Gordon Ramsay, you can find a tons of recipe online, right, to cook the stuff that you like. So let's put it in an example. So normally, when I cook, pasta, or if I cook a Japanese dish that I don't know how to, make it, then I'm gonna go online and find the recipe for it. Another example, when I make pies, I don't need to follow a recipe. Right. Third pair is conversation and conservation. Alright, it's a little bit, intriguing, isn't it? So they kind of just reversing the syllables that inclusive of S and V sounds, right? So conversation, of course, is a talk. Yeah, it's a talk between two or maybe more people about what they want to share in general, their thoughts, their ideas, their beliefs, etc. So some examples it's impossible to carry on a conversation with all this noise going on. Or I started an interesting conversation with your sister the other day. Yeah. And conservation. So conservation is a preservation, restoration, or protection of the natural environment and of wildlife. So let's say if you can use conservation let's say a conservation program for panda, or a conservation program for a certain forest, you know. So it can be for both environment and the wildlife. Put it into a context. Energy conservation reduces your fuel bills and helps the environment. This one, I think, is the most confusing part out of everything on the list, is the compliment and complement. Right, almost identical, right? So compliment is basically is a praise. You give like respect, admiration, or approval to someone. So let's say like, good job, well done, or oh, this piece of work is exceptional, this is a masterpiece. That is a compliment, yeah? And of course it is a noun. Okay, a nice example. I take it as a compliment when people say I look like my mother. Okay, the second one, compliment. Compliment, I will say compliment if it is a verb. So basically, it is about like to make something else seem better or more attractive when combining it with another thing. So let's put it into context. It's a little bit vague, right? So let's say strawberries complement cream very well, right? You know strawberries and cream, yeah? Or the music complements her voice perfectly, yeah? So those kind of things, yeah, they complement. So complement as a verb is used like that. If this word is a noun, it's not going to be pronounced compliment. It is complement. Okay, so pretty much the same as this, yeah. So if it's a noun, it still holds the same meaning, but it's just a noun. A complement is a number of people or things that make something complete. So put it in a sentence for you guys. The libretto proved a perfect complement to the music. Yeah? Right. Last one. So because it's the last one, I know I've titled this video 5 pairs, but the last one is actually a trio. So first is access. Access is a verb. So as a verb, it means get inside a place. So you access a building. And if it's a noun, it's a method or the possibility of getting near a place or a person. Like the main access to Iceland is by boat. Yeah. Okay, and the second one is this word. So if it is an adjective, it means extra. I would pronounce it excess. Excess. Okay, and if it is a noun, it can be pronounced both excess or excess. Yeah, and if it's a noun, again, it still like keeps its own meaning, but just a noun. An amount that is more than acceptable, accepted, or reasonable. Give you like a demonstration of it. An excess of enthusiasm is not always a good thing. So what is excess in this case? Is it a noun or is it an adjective? Well done, yes, it is a noun, isn't it? Because you have article "an" in here. So remember to use the key words for your, especially in IELTS listening, okay? So if you have like an exercise, like filling in the gap, and you see or an in front of the dot, and there's no noun behind it, or noun or noun phrase behind it, more likely the gap is going to be a noun. Last one, if this word, so it's a verb, is assess. Assess means to judge or decide the amount, value, quality, or importance of something. So you're going to judge something basically in regard to many aspects. Examples are, exams are not the only means of assessing a student's ability. Second one, we need to assess whether the project is worth doing. Alright, So that's the end of the pairs a trio that I have share with you guys today, and thank you so much for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in my next video.